like to believe that the goodbye video actually has a greater purpose. Over the years, the story of Jesus has been lost in translation. I'm here to retell the true story. The story, though not quite as mystical, is much, much more powerful. The story that can wake up the world. Jesus was actually human, like you and me. He was simply a spiritual teacher who, just as many else have, found the truth. God, Nirvana, it doesn't matter what you call it. It's all the same thing. There is one truth. Jesus was enlightened. He found the incredible pureness of experience. Experience that goes beyond the self. Experience free from ego and free from the illusion of death. True health. True happiness. He found something within that if everyone found, the world would heal. The world would become free from evil. So he made it his life's mission to teach. To show others the path, no matter what the cost. So he became the ultimate actor. He started performing miracles. But these miracles didn't go against science. They were human acts that the world just didn't understand at the time. In the past, ego was low and the mind was open, so they attributed it to divinity. In present day, the ego is high and the mind is closed, so they call even lesser acts that are achievable by everyone fake. Mental stress is one of the biggest enemies of good health, and the promise of an afterlife, along with forgiveness, is powerful enough to heal. Jesus did good deeds because he realized that they not only increased the health and happiness of others, but the health and happiness of himself as well. True selfishness and selflessness are the same thing. Sin isn't just bad for others, it's bad for our true selves. It decreases our mental, physical, and spiritual health. The ego makes us forget this important concept. It gives us the illusion that we can be happy at the expense of others, and it's the cause of all evil in the world. Now, at first, most people didn't believe Jesus' teachings. In fact, most thought he was crazy. They thought he was blasphemous. He got an incredible amount of hate. But some people recognized the truth that was simply hidden within them. They became followers, and the truth grew. But to get everyone to heaven, to free everyone from the mental prison of the false self, the ego, he needed everyone to listen. Everyone needed to be freed of the illusion of death. So with the help of a few friends, he came up with the ultimate plan to do just that. He decided to fake his death. He would purposely get arrested. He would pretend to die for the public to see, then he would go off the grid for a little while, in a place no one could know that he's still alive. A tomb built by his friends specifically for this purpose. Over that time, the word would spread. Now he knew that this would temporarily cause some worry and sadness, but the world would thank him when it begins to wake up. The plan worked. One of his friends gave him away to the authorities. After his death was acted out perfectly, he was taken to his pre-planned hiding spot, where he had to spend 3 nights without food. When the guard was gone, he left his hiding spot and went to the city to show he was still alive. He now had the credibility he was looking for. Because of his perfectly executed plan, no one could call his teachings crazy. Now, he could actually change the world. He didn't do it for fame. He didn't do it for money. He did it to make the world a better place for all of us, to show others the path to true peace and happiness, to get people working on themselves instead of blaming the world for their misfortune, to show others that enlightenment is real, to show that the truth of the universe can be discovered as humans. We just need the tools to find it within. People can realize death is an illusion. People can realize that any human can have the inner peace and bliss that Jesus had. People can realize that they can break free of the prison of their unconscious minds and end their mental suffering. People can realize that heaven is right here on earth. All you have to do is seek, and you shall find. So yes, everything was planned out from the very beginning. Every step served a purpose. Like I told you from the start, it was acting. I've always been myself. This is just a truer part of myself that you've never seen. Now, I don't claim to be anyone but Connor. I'm just a human with an overwhelming sense of purpose to retell a powerful story, to change the world. Because the world we live in right now is unacceptable, and you know it. Take a look at the world around you. Read the news for a day and notice all the chaos and evil, the racism, the sickness, the suffering. You don't like the world we live in, but you accept it. Well, you don't have to. We have the ability to change it. We are in hell, but have the ability to create a heaven right here on earth. Everyone has pure goodness within us. We just have to uncover it. But take responsibility. The system cannot be fixed until we look within and fix ourselves. Stop blaming humans. We are all in this together. Wanting to reform the world without discovering one's true self is like trying to cover the world with leather to avoid the pain of walking on stones and thorns. It's much simpler to wear shoes. That's a quote by Ramana Maharishi. We're all the same thing. I mean that literally. We are all part of one greater consciousness. It's the evil of the ego, the false self, that's the issue. It makes us feel separate. It divides us. All we have to do is break free from it. But the ego of the world is so strong. I had to do something extreme just to get people to listen. Just for people to realize that it's possible. For any temporary suffering, I ask for your forgiveness. But in my mind, 2 weeks of worry is worth a lifetime of freedom from mental suffering. I completely welcome any hate. Because if this can change the lives of 1% of the people that watch this, if 1% of you realize enlightenment is possible, if 1% of you realize it's possible to break free from suffering and find your true, pure selves, I serve my purpose. That's enough to start changing the world. Because the truth is far more powerful than the ego. Once it's out there, it can't be stopped. So whether you're ready or not, the Great Awakening is coming. The next golden age. Sooner than you could ever imagine. If you think this is crazy, take a quick look at the world and notice the suffering. Take a quick look within yourselves and notice the suffering. Who's in control of your happiness? Right now, it's not you. Not wanting to wake up is the true insanity. Right now, you're in a prison. You don't have control of your own happiness, but you can escape this mental prison that you're in. You just have to seek the truth. And the truth will set you free.